Hi, boys and girls. I was reading you this book earlier, and I wanted to make sure I finished it so you wouldn't forget what it was about. So let's quick do a recap or a retell about the story so far. It's called Chrysanthemum, and so far it was about a little girl who was born, or a little mouse girl, and she was named something special, and they decided to name her Chrysanthemum. They wanted to name her after a flower because it was beautiful, just like she is. And she grew up loving her name. She always wrote her name. She enjoyed saying her name. She used to say it in the mirror. And then one day she went to school and her friends laughed at her name because it was so long and it wouldn't fit on a name tag. And they teased her about her name, and they pointed at her, and she wilted. Remember what wilted means is when you're really big and then you just sort of shrink down and die. So they kept teasing her. She went home. Her parents tried to make her feel better. They played games. They gave her compliments. She ate macaroni and cheese with ketchup. And then she thought about changing her name. Then she went back to school the next day and they continued to tease her and tease her. All throughout the day, they pointed at her, they pretended to pick her, and this is where we left off. So I'm going to start here. "Welcome home," said her mother. "Welcome home," said her father. "School is no place for me," said Chrysanthemum. "They said I even look like a flower. They pretended to pick me and smell me." "Oh, pish," said her mother. "They're just jealous and envious and begrudging and discontented and jaundiced," said her father. "Who wouldn't be jealous of a name like yours?" said her mother. "After all, it's absolutely perfect," said her father. Chrysanthemum felt a trifle better after her favorite dessert, chocolate cake with buttercream frosting, and another evening filled with hugs and kisses and parcheesi. That night, Chrysanthemum dreamed that she really was a real chrysanthemum. She sprouted leaves and petals. Victoria picked her and plucked the leaves and petals one by one until there was nothing left but a scrawny stem. It was the worst nightmare of Chrysanthemum's life. Chrysanthemum wore her outfit with 7 pockets the next morning. She loaded the pockets with her most prized possessions and her good luck charms. Chrysanthemum took the longest route possible to school. She stopped and stared at each and every flower. "Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum," the flowers seemed to say. That morning, the students were introduced to Mrs. Twinkle, the music teacher. Her voice was like something out of a dream, as was everything else about her. The students were speechless. They thought Mrs. Twinkle was an indescribable wonder. They went out of their way to make a nice impression. Mrs. Twinkle led the students in scales. Then she assigned roles for the class musical. Victoria was chosen as the dainty fairy queen. Rita was chosen as the spiffy butterfly princess. Rita Oh, sorry, that was Rita. Jo was chosen as the all-important pixie messenger, and Chrysanthemum was chosen as a daisy. So a daisy is a flower. So now, not only do they tease her because her name is a type of flower, now she has to be a flower in the play that they're going to put on, or the musical. "Chrysanthemum's a daisy, chrysanthemum's a daisy," Jo, Rita, and Victoria chanted. thinking it was wildly funny. Chrysanthemum wilted. She did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She thought it was absolutely dreadful. "What's so humorous?" said Mrs. Twinkle. "Chrysanthemum," was the answer. "Her name is so long," said Joe. "It scarcely fits on our name tag," said Rita, pointing. "I'm named after my grandmother, and she is named after a flower," said Victoria. "My name is long," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It is?" said Joe. "My name would scarcely fit on a name tag," said Mrs. Twinkle. "It would?" said Rita, pointing. "And," said Mrs. Twinkle, "I'm named after a flower, too." "You are?" said Victoria. "Yes," said Mrs. Twinkle. "My name is Delphinium. Delphinium Twinkle. And if my baby is a girl, I'm considering Chrysanthemum as a name. I think it's absolutely perfect." Chrysanthemum could scarcely believe her ears. She blushed, she beamed, she bloomed. Chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum, chrysanthemum. So think about how the teacher just helped Chrysanthemum gain her confidence back, made her feel good. Oh, look at her. She is just so excited, all because the teacher stuck up for her. Joe, Rita, and Victoria looked at Chrysanthemum longingly. "Call me Marigold," said Joe. "I'm Carnation," said Rita, pointing. "My name is Lily of the Valley," said Victoria. Chrysanthemum did not think her name was absolutely perfect. She knew it. And that is the end of the story. So just think, all because that teacher stuck up for her, those kids stopped picking on her. And we already know that picking on somebody because of their name is not okay, right? That's not nice. It's not kind. And at Shawmut Hills, we are responsible, kind, and safe. So I'm going to have an activity for you to do with the rest of this book on Seesaw. Bye, guys.